Hello everybody, Tarek37 here. Welcome back. Yeah, instead of me waiting a whole week to record, I got to record it about 5 days after the last time I recorded. Yeah, got to take a day off from work to do to have somebody come over and look at stuff, only for the person not show up because scheduling issues. So I got rescheduled. So I have a day off from work to record and do other stuff. So, last time, we found a small warding talisman, and Richmond decided he was going to try to find a library because he doesn't know what this thing is. I don't think there's any way for him to know what this thing is, barring checking the library. Um, uh, I, I should have asked this. Is there a library in town? I'm going to leave it as unsure because I don't know. It's a small town. I could see both ways. No, there is not a library in town. Okay, so research needs to get done elsewhere. So, what do we have that would help? There's not really a streetwise. There's not really a streetwise. I'm trying to find something, anything. All right. Well then, in this case, if there's not a library in town, his next clue is that supposedly this has something to do with the um, Kasper family. So he is going to try to find the Kasper family and try to figure out, see if he can maybe do an interview with them. He's a reporter. They're the hmm, that's very interesting. Sorry, I hadn't realized there were tooltips like that. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We are going. Richmond is going to go up to that mansion that I'm presuming is still intact and is still, um, and he is going to try to charm his way up. Let me make sure that charm does what I think it does. Okay, so Richmond is going to go up to that. Hold on, let me pull up the journal. The Casper family basically owns Brookhaven. I think, what was it? It was like, no, that wasn't it. Or was the thing that did how much time passed? Because it was 8 minutes. Oh, right. I think that was it, the D100, because then I decided not to divide by 2, because also, Mythos points are going up. I think this is a good. Alright, on. Also, it occurs to me, I do not have my PDFs pulled up. Sorry about that. I completely forgot that this was a. This is kind of was like, oh, I have time to record. I really don't have a reason not to. My dog is currently calm, so I have the opportunity to do this before she gets antsy. Okay. think... Alright, we are going to... I think there was a thing up here about how much time... Okay, roll a d100 divided by 2 to get how much time passes. Alright, how much time passes? Well... Alright, divide by 2... 9 minutes. So 9 minutes later, at 1:34 p.m., the antique shop was quite the find. Apparently the Kasper family hid an odd talisman in the grandfather clock. Hid an odd talisman in the grandfather clock. Sorry about that. It was a longer message than I thought I'd need. Apparently the Kasper family hid an odd talisman in the grandfather clock. I swiped it for the odd shopkeeper. Came back. I've never seen a person... I think I said only purple in their eyes. With only purple eyes before, but it was deeply unnerving. Asked around town. But there doesn't appear... Library. Appear to be the library, which was going to be my next step. Do is interview Kaspers myself. See what they have to say about happening. Alright. So. Here's where things get tricky. I'll say he goes up to what is obviously the manor, and he asks, I'll say there's a gate guard, and he asks the gate guard, "Hello, sir, I am with the..." Oh, God, well, I don't know if I ever actually decided what the name... Oh, God, I never thought of that. Let's see, I'm with Kingsport Chronicle. That's it, Kingsport Chronicle. Kingsport Chronicle. I'm with Kingsport Chronicle. We'd heard about what happened to Brookhaven and wanted to ask if ask the influential people around town if there's anything that they want to talk about. In regards to this, would we be able to interview the Kaspers? Honestly, this might not be charm so much as fast talk. I'm gonna go with fast talk because I think that actually makes more sense than charm. He's not really charming. He's trying to like quickly. No, I'm sorry, sir, but the Kaspers are not available for interview at this time. You may come back at a later date. And he kind of turns him away. Well, I don't think. I think Osnich is going to sneak around, but he's going to wait. First, he's going to stealth. This is his best lead, so he's going to stealth and try to see if he can. Uh, okay, took me a second. I was like, what the heck? Hard success. All right, that's very good. A 20 and yeah, my syllogism was 60. So yeah, it's a hard success. He's gonna say. First thing he's going to do is he's going to sneak inside. I'll say he's not too interested in the gate guard. As he sneaks in, does anything? No. I'm going to ask a question. Are the Caspers in the manor? I'm going to put this as very likely. Not necessarily nearly certain. They might have left anticipating what was going on. Alright, because that is over our chaos factor, no random event. So the Caspers are in the mansion. What I expected. So, I think that calls for another stealth check. Well, he's not breaking in. Not yet. He's going. Richmond is going to, like, be scouting around until he sees some of them, will say, for the sake of interest, discussing what's going on in town. He's going to try to listen in. Roll difficulty. I'll leave it at, I'm going to leave these as regular for now, just because. Okay. He does listen in. He does hear what's going on. They are, and I'm going to say they are discussing the town because, again, that's more interesting. Now, how in the heck? Let me do the, not the clues table. Not the rumors table. Random event table? No, that's not it. Alright. Well, I have my Mythic Magazine number 40, which has some stuff here. Cause of death probably doesn't. Let's see. That was for mystery. Maybe I should go more into the horror ones. Let's see. Perilous situations, secluded location, supernatural influence, hideous power, evil deed, dark motivation. Ooh, how about dark hint? Yeah, that sounds like what we want. Dark hints. 2D100. What are we getting? 86 and 9. 86. Struggle. Blood. Ooh. So those are the two words. Okay. What could that mean? Oh. I have an idea. Okay, so here's my question. Were the Caspers trying to stop the destruction of the town? I hadn't considered this. But when I saw Struggle Blood, my thought went to, wait a minute, maybe. Oh, they were. The Caspers were trying to stop the destruction of the town. My original thought process was they were behind it, but then when I saw Struggle Blood, my thought went to they're either they were like there's like a blood feud going on between two houses, but we haven't heard the other one mentioned. But this is actually kind of more interesting. The Caspers are trying to stop. So here's how I'm interpreting this. Caspers were trying to stop a monster from destroying the town. They were at least able to save some of the town, but the creature is still alive and loose. You know, with exceptional yes, I'm going to add this. They suspect someone in the town of summoning the creature. So, what Richmond hears is the patriarch and the matriarch of the house. Hold on, I'm gonna roll on some tables here. We're just gonna do okay. Henrietta and Thaddeus. Perfect. Thaddeus and Henrietta. Henrietta Kasper are discussing next steps. So here's what I imagine he's saying. He's saying, I thought you said this would stop it. And Henrietta says, by everything I've seen, it would have. It should have. Unless someone did something when they summoned, maybe altered the ritual somehow. Usually, from my own research, a small sacrifice of blood with the right incantation then drives the creature back to where it came from. I suspect whoever summoned that creature, they either knew what they were doing and messed with the ritual to make this thing tougher to stop, or they messed the ritual up and now that creature's loose, and it might take significantly more blood than the little bit that we each gave in that ritual. I'll see if I can get my group. I'll see if I can get my men looking into it a bit closer. I did get a report that apparently there's a reporter in town from Kingsport asking a lot of questions, digging in. I want to get this dealt with before or coming forward with a cover story. I don't want to be caught in a lie when a monster gets loose, if the monster is going to strike again. I'll keep digging, see if I can't find any more details on the ritual. If we're lucky, maybe we can get a solution quickly. Or maybe I can help narrow down the search, or at least. Richmond listens to this, and he's not 100% sure what he's listening to. I'll say he is definitely able to determine, one, they seem to have tried to stop a creature that might be responsible for the destruction of the town. And whatever they did didn't work all the way. And potentially someone else in town might have summoned it, either by accident or on purpose, and messed with the ritual in some way to make the creature not immune but resistant to whatever they tried to do. And I think now's a good time for another stealth check. 53. Cool. We're able to make it out. So that means next step. I don't know entirely where to go for story direction in this case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll D100. And we're going to see what the story direction is. And I do add mythos points to this, apparently. 80. Actually, hold on. Why don't I up those mythos points up? I'm going to up it 2 more because I feel like this whole thing is definitely up to the mythos quite a bit. So I add 5, so it's 85. So it went from danger to dice roll. I roll another D100. Actually, no, even without the 2, still would have been a dice roll. 85. So that means something happens. So I go to the random event table. Random event table. Alright, and now I roll another D100. Let's see what random event happens to us. 82. Man, I'm rolling high today. Fortunately, this is not a system you want. While walking somewhere, or riding a train perhaps, you notice a woman slumped over the book she is reading. You watch for some time. She doesn't appear asleep. Concerned, you go over and tap her on the shoulder. Her head lolls to one side and you realize she is dead. Shocked, you happen to catch sight of the book. It is unlike anything you have seen, full of strange sigils, runes, and disturbing images. It is a mythos book. Oh. Okay. Okay. Here's my thought process. Alright. While making the trek back to town, Richmond notices, he notices a woman slumped over on a bench at a bus stop. Since the buses aren't running due to the damage, Richmond goes to investigate and finds the woman is dead, but was reading a mysterious book. Okay, now I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to leave it as unsure. Was this woman responsible for the creature? Because it's entirely possible she was planted or discovered the book after it was thrown away. Whoa. Okay, so no, she wasn't responsible for the creature. With the exceptional no, this woman was planted here. And the book as well. Potentially to throw off investigators. Ooh. I like this. Throw off investigators. No, not rolling. That's stupid. Okay, so I'm going to have my guy do a spot hidden check to see if he can pick up on this. 64. Barely. He barely picks up on this. Richmond realizes, as he's like looking, that this woman should not be sitting on a bus stop at a time like this. Where'd she get this book? There's no library in town. it seems completely random. Thus, he comes to the conclusion someone planted this. And now he needs to figure out what is in this book. And I need to go play with my dog. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you all have a great day. Bye.